Hello everybody, I'm Jason Rice. I'm an SSP veteran, a U.S. Army officer veteran, and an engineer.
Can you give me a brief summary of your life up until this point?
Brief summary of my life up to this point. Sure, I'll try. I had what I thought of as a normal life. In fact, we were talking a moment ago off air that I'd take out the garbage and wash the car and fill up the gas tank, just like everybody else. Aches and pains some days, and other days are good. When I started waking up to the memories that had been compartmentalized and buried, they were at first some just strange memories that had come back, and I figured, okay, it's just another day, and the amount of them increased enough that I was starting to piece together the events that happened. It wasn't just a scene. That occurred over a period of a couple of years, and I was able to come forward with the events and my experiences within the secret space program.
Can you kind of give us like an example of a particular mission that you would have been on?
Sure.
And a time period, of dates, if you can put dates to it, maybe.
Sure. A particular mission that I'd been on would have been 99 time frame, circa 1999. We were on Planet One and Area26, and there was our mission at that time was to gather intelligence of the local populations so that we could develop a better assistance plan to help them prepare for their defense of the planet.
So is there a battle going on?
There is.
In our solar system, or is it in other solar systems?
There are a bunch. There are a bunch of them.
And our secret space program, does the presidents, the world leaders know about it, or is it so far beyond them?
I think that there are certain leadership that knows about some of the SSP activities. However, the vast scope and breadth of the SSP means that there are extreme cases of compartmentalization, and nobody, no matter what they claim, knows about all of it. And your question about whether there's wars going on currently, the unit that I was a part of were one leg of a false flag. The same command structure was also in charge of ordering the alien invasion fleet. They were in charge of our fleet that was there to help the populations so they could speed up planetary control from a century or more to less than 10 years.
So when we say alien, what are we talking about? I mean, are we talking about the Greys? Are we talking about Palladians? What type of species, or is it just multiple kind of species?
The Draco, primarily, and their boss, the AI, are the ones that were calling the shots for the unit that I was in.
And do these guys, are they governed by any kind of religious
spirituality? They have their own, and it's mostly centered around AI and transhumanism, if you will, in our
what would you say their opinion of humans?
That we are animals, feed animals, slave animals, that they don't have a very high regard for us.
And we talk about the Alliance. Is that real? Have we got other ETs out there supporting us, or are we on our own?
No, actually, we do have some benevolent ETs that are on our side. However, what they are doing is they are doing their best to stop intrusions from other ETs. The mess that we've got on this planet, we're going to have to take care of that.
Okay. Did Adolf Hitler get involved in a secret space program? Did he know about it?
He was highly involved in Germany's secret space program.
And if he was getting assistance by ET, who was he getting the assistance through?
From the Draco.
Right.
Yeah. The Mars Germans that I had served with, I had the blessing of becoming friends with a few of them, and was able to find out information that we don't have privilege to, coming from the USA, anyway.
So would you be giving information going back to the pyramids and the ancient sites around the world? Have you got any information on that?
My information starts around the 1930 timeframe.
Where would you say we're up to now within this battle within the solar system?
Oh, sure. Great question. Where are we with this battle? Well, I can tell you that the IDARF carrier fleets still have units out on deployment. The false flag nature of that unit, again, is franchising evil, essentially, is setting up despotic control over planetary populations. And they do that through mass casualty war. And the other battles that are going on amongst ET races for either control of territory or ideological, I don't know. That's a good question.
It sounds like it's Star Wars, the movie.
Yeah.
How close to reality actually is that?
Yeah, truth stranger than fiction. You've got a rebel alliance against an empire. Yeah, the Draco Empire spreads across many solar systems.
Okay. So what kind of technology are we talking about? What do we have at our disposal as humans?
As humans, the technology that we have at our disposal include nanite enhancement therapies. Well, the next question is, what is that? Well, the enhancement therapies that they gave to us as soldiers were primarily designed to help give us the best chances at staying alive. They included anti-radiation protocols. They included, and these are micro machines, they're non-living, but that help aid in the healing process. They help with glandular control for either increasing the particular output or another one, depending on if you need to stay awake longer, or if you need to curb an appetite, or if you need to any number of things.
So I mean,
that's one area.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of distance are we actually traveling in solar system in light years?
Thousands of light years.
So we really are that
thousands.
advanced.
There are humans from Earth all over this galaxy, and others.
Are there humans being born on other planets that haven't experienced Earth?
The aliens that I came in contact with appeared to be human. Just like other humanoids here on Earth, they had varied color, hair, and light and dark skin, eye colors that were ranging from blue to green to brown to hazel to anything in between. So yeah, how they got there, that's a good question.
Mankind's greatest achievement, if you like, seems to be the moon landing, and we're approaching the Apollo 11 50th anniversary this year. Was that all set up? Was it a stage? Because if we've got this technology, why are they wasting money to go to the moon? I mean, and did we even go to the moon?
That's a great question. Yeah, we did. They had sets set up in the event that they weren't able to get good footage. So that's what the sets were for. The mankind's movement into space with the Apollo program was a cover-up for hiding black budget money.
Purely a financial
campaign. And to get the public involved with, getting excited about space and political gain.
So you believe we did land on the moon, Neil Armstrong put that foot on the ground, that's all real?
Yeah. Yep. They were shadowed, they had company. Yeah.
That's the next question, did they have craft up there watching?
Oh yeah.
them?
Yep. They had company watching.
Do you think we have been back secretly since then?
Yes, we have a base there, the Lunar Command Center. The Germans put their first base there in the 40s, and we took over that base in 1991 as part of the agreement that started IDARF, the unit that I was in.
Wow.
Paying for the lease of the moon base required that Earth provide 25,000 soldiers for use where and when the IDARF command structure needed. And so that's how it came about.
What would you say people are out looking at the stars all the time, looking at UFOs. How many are actually ET and how many are our own UFOs?
That's a great question. I was talking last night with some other attendees here, and Earth has a defense grid. So the UFOs that are viewed within our skies have permission to be here. Whether they're human or they're ET, that's a great question. I would tell you that the majority of the UFOs seen are almost certainly human, and there's only a small percentage that are ET.
The ET ones that we do see, so I take it they're a part of the Alliance, or are they the enemy as well, some of them?
Well, it depends on who you ask that question. There are still a lot of dark forces at play here on Earth, and they have control over certain geographical areas. So the ETs that come in through that portal or through that door into those geographies are allowed in. Over here on the other side of the planet, they would be shot down. I mean, it's a mess. We have a mess here on the planet, and it's something that we've got to get straightened out.
Are we going to get ET disclosure? I mean, are the governments keeping it a secret with good intentions so we don't get exposed to the war that's going on? Or would you say the governments, the elites are manipulating us? What's your take on that?
Well, I think that your first question is if we're going to have ET disclosure. Yeah, we will. It's not a matter of if, it's just when. Their intentions initially, I think the time frame when this was first an issue was 1948, 1947. So the social mores, as well as the way that the command people were, Eisenhower, that was a different generation. And their thinking was, okay, this is something that the public is not ready for, and we need to keep it under wraps for now until we can get a better handle on it. Unfortunately, there were far too many nefarious groups that wanted that technology, that subverted the control of it, and were able to gain control over a period of decades.
Okay. One final question for
Sure.
you then. I mean, very brave for you to come forward with your information. Very brave not only for your own life and your protection, but this community is also a little bit hostile towards secret
Sometimes.
space program.
Sure.
It's really divided. How would you think your former colleagues within the SSP actually feel about you talking about these? How do your former commanders, let's say,
My
and the
former
government-
soldier comrades?
yeah, would
I
they
would
be
say-
annoyed with you for coming forward, or
No. We weren't told about the memory wipe compartmentalization when we volunteered. That was not part of the deal. Among the other things, they told us we'd have a nice nest egg when we graduated or retired. That they didn't say anything about memory wipes. They never told us they were going to tell our families we were dead, so that they would assure our commitment. So those that are in that have found out those very disturbing truths, I would say that they would want. I know I would have. If I was back in at like year 15 of my 20 and somebody said, look, Major, they're gonna wipe your memory when you get back. Whoa, wait a minute. Time out.
yeah? I mean, I have no doubt we can wipe memories. I have
Sure.
I'd be disappointed if we didn't have a secret space
Right.
program, to be honest. It's
Right.
common sense to have one of those. But can you understand why people, even in the UFO community, find it hard to believe because there isn't much proof but your word?
Sure. Yeah, I've got no tangible proof. I understand that. And I'm asking people to take my word for it. There are circumstantial proofs that I've been able to find and locate. And I think once the technology was acquired for mind wipe, that was probably on par, if not more important, to human development and technology than the Manhattan Project, because they were able to assure secrecy. That you can't tell something that you don't remember.
I mean, you said you've met ETs. Would they continue that communication with you up to this point, or have you had nothing since you left the program?
I've had no contact with them since getting out.
Are you disappointed that they haven't made contact with you to kind of give you some reassurances? Or
No, I actually have, my faith is very strong, and so needing a reassurance from an ETs, no. I am of the mind that there was help getting to the mess that we have here. ET races were directly involved in creating the mess that we've got. And my thoughts are, okay, thank you for keeping our environment safe, clear, and free from meddling ETs. We need to clean this up. Humans need to be involved with cleaning it up, not ET races.
Where do you see us in the next 5 years? Do you think we're heading into that kind of disclosure?
I do.
That soon?
I see it happening. The existing disclosure plan that's happening right this very minute involves slow release of technology. February of 2018, they released information on transparent metal. Came out as a patent. They're working on it. They've had that for decades. The DARPA, later last year, released a neural interface between a pilot and 3 drones. Another technology that was mature when I went in '97, well developed, again. So they're releasing these technologies through universities or corporations, so we get to pay for them twice.
Yeah.
How's that feel?
Yeah, great. So is it going to be consciousness or technology that gets us to that tipping point?
I believe that consciousness is what's going to get us there. And demand from the people. I was just talking yesterday that those responsible for 80 years of secrecy are the same ones that came up with this drip disclosure plan. And I don't want them deciding that. They're the ones that kept us in the dark and lied to us for 80 years. I want the people, the citizens, the civilians, to decide what we're going to do with technology integration. And in order to do that, we have to have a number of people that come forward and say, oh, like, let's put a plan together. This is how we're going to obsolete certain job industries, like the power company grid. Well, there's thousands of workers that are now out of work if you drop new technology that allows power generation at each house. Well, what are you going to do about all those workers? Well, now let's get them into working on next generation power. Well, there's some training involved with that. Okay, well, get those people involved in determining their future. How do they want to get trained? How do they want to work? What do they want to do? Same thing for the medical industry. Same thing for transportation. Same thing for ecology. So same principles apply.